Okay, so for those who don't know, I've actually been playing Call of Duty for I don't know how long. Initially, this was supposed to be how my videos were going to be. I was supposed to be, you know, one of those Call of Duty people like Jev or FaZe when they used to play Call of Duty. That was really what, you know, my content was gonna be. And then I got into anime, and anime kind of replaced everything in my existence. Like deadass, I don't know how much I changed because of anime, but that's the content that I'm making now. However, I do still enjoy playing Call of Duty from time to time. This is the new Call of Duty, if it's not already obvious. I've been having fun with this for a while. Haven't really played with any of the homies just yet, but you know, there is plans to do that. Sit down, stupid. I also want to do a collaboration with the homie Kenji. I've mentioned him on my channel a couple of times, and for him not to be, you know, featured in a couple videos is just wrong. So look forward to something like that. It's just different schedules, especially now that I'm doing the Saitama challenge that I'm doing. It's really difficult to just, you know, even exist with anybody else. Like, real talk, I have to have dumb plans in place to just do stuff. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, we don't have time. That's all I can explain it as. Time is definitely tough for me right now. Because let me tell you, this fatigue is not the way. I've been really enjoying just playing this game, just doing my thing. This is like a sweet taste of nostalgia, if that makes any sense. Like deadass, this used to be what I used to do all the time. After school, okay, that's a lie. I never really played. See, let me explain how my situation with gaming was. Alright, I got put down. Let me explain my situation when it came to gaming. So, I never really had the privilege to play whenever I wanted to. There's kids nowadays that play pretty much all the time. I didn't have that. What I had was different levels. Let me explain the tiers. So initially when I was younger, you had an hour on Saturday or Sunday. That was your choice. Maybe both if you, like, you know, were paying attention in class, if you were doing your thing, if you weren't being, you know, a bad kid. But for the most part, it was either Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Friday. If you got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you were just, you know, that was a top tier weekend. But for the most part, it was just Friday and Saturday. Sunday was usually when you would like rest, sleep early. You got 1 hour. Now, this was around the time where PlayStation 1 was a thing. It was PlayStation 1, it was at most PS2, you had your PSP, you had your DS, your Game Boy. And I mean, all of this stuff was cool. Believe me, I liked all of these things. But the old PlayStation just took so long to load up anything. Like deadass, the first 10 minutes of your hour were spent just on the big ass loading screen. Like the the whole start to your weekend of playing games was solely starting up on the game itself. Like, there was nothing you could do. You can't speed it up. You can't skip the beginning parts of the games, like loading up. It just took way too long. There was times where the disc wouldn't read on PlayStation 1. If you had a PlayStation 1, you understand this. The disc wasn't read. You would all over the disc. It wouldn't work. You would just have to, you know, figure out different things to do. You either rub it on yourself, you rub it on some clothes. If you go intense, you have toothpaste, just a whole bunch of little home remedies to try and get your disc to load. And then you have to find your memory card. Oh my god, I had my own memory card, my brother had his own, and like we would get mad when each other used, you know, the opposite memory card. So you had to hope and pray that you found it quickly. Eventually, you ended up playing, and it was only about like 30 minutes. Like, you deadass had half an hour. And then to save, bro, my parents, they weren't the strictest parents, okay? And you know how difficult it is to like try and explain, yo, I gotta save? It's mad difficult. It's deadass one of the hardest things to do. Because how do you explain, alright, look, I'm not playing no more, but I still need to have this on, and I need to do this, that, and the third. It's not something that you could just, you know, normally talk about. It's a dumb concept. These ice cream trucks are a dumb concept. If there's one thing that I like about this game more than anything else, it's the sniping. Like, this looks so pretty. Playing games as a kid, that was tough. And then it kind of like advanced. Okay, then Then it was more like, okay, we understand that you like playing games, so like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and give you more free reign to play your games. So unless I was, you know, the worst kid imaginable, I had more time. I had, you know, like 2 hours. I had at most 3 hours, or like on my birthdays, I would stay home and I would play the entire day. Like, if you think I'm not taking advantage of that, you're dumb. That was like my legitimate. I cared more about that than I did the presents that I got. Like, real talk, that was my present. Like, I didn't care about anything but that. I remember there was one time where I was at my grandparents' house, right? We had like spent time over there from time to time, and so while I was there, there was no. We still had the whole like hour implementation thing. So you had your hour. After your hour, you put it away. I had this little suitcase specifically for my DS, and I remember the game I had. I had Pokemon. I had this Spectrobes game. I don't know if anybody will ever recognize the game, but it was like a boof-ass Pokemon. You would fight against monsters and then recruit monsters. It was cool, but it was dumb at the same time. There was also a Wii variation of the game, but I wasn't playing that. I was playing Pokemon. I was trying to catch a Drifblim. It was Pokemon Pearl, and so the whole struggle, like in the little field where you would catch Drifblim, went down. I fought a couple of people, and then I had to save. You know, I did my thing. Then afterward, I was like, you know what? What if I just like continue playing? Like, who's really gonna stop me? Like, deadass. What are you gonna do to contest with me? Like, real talk. I don't know what kind of power move this was as a child, but I was like, let me just play some more. So my little suitcase was always hidden on the top of a shelf. I say hidden because that's how it was supposed to be, but it was never really hidden. Like, to me, I mean, I knew where it was, so how could you call it hidden? I had to put the game away. That was cool. I put the game away. I followed instructions. And then little Jason just had this power move in his head. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna just play some more. Little Jason was drunk with power. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but I decided to climb on the shelf that my DS suitcase thing was on, and I just grabbed my DS. Now, the smart move would have been to hide, like, in one of the rooms. To hide just, you know, in a back corner, in, you know, the bathroom even. Like, no, my stomach hurts when I'm really out here catching these Pokemon. No, my decision was, let's go ahead and just start playing immediately. Because in my head, here's how it worked. The faster you start playing, the more time you have to play. Now, that's not incorrect, but it's also not correct in that situation. Because little Jason decided the optimal play was to sit down on top of the shelf and just start playing Pokemon. I was like on a whole different league. Who was gonna touch me on top of the shelf? I thought I was, you know, pretty cool. Then I got my ass beat because, like I said, little Jason was on top of the shelf. How are you not gonna see small feet just dangling playing Pokemon? I even put the volume up. I had the volume up. That's stupid. That's dumb to me. Everybody has that time when it's like, you know, you get your DS, you're asleep, and then you hide under your pillow, act asleep. I had a lot of those, right? But this was a whole different level of engineering. This was like the competition between Porsche and Lamborghini. The competition wasn't there. I was the optimal being at that moment in time. I'm end up running hands with people who drive ice cream trucks. So if like your relatives drive ice cream trucks, recommend them to not. Who knows? I like this this style of video. I might do something like this again.